Okay, I wanted to do a template rehearsal of what I would do on any particular day. And if I could be awake through all sessions, or which session do you want to trade, or do you even have to worry about it? But if you were to get involved in a trade based on this idea of trapping the breakout traders. So the people that are trading the breakouts on these time blocks here, we got the Asian session, European session, US session, and 15-minute chart on top on closing prices with a range bar or just the price range behind it. So this is my favorite chart. I built this based upon RSI. We could easily put RSI on a panel below and read RSI in a fucking second, right? You can see all the reversals, the places you want to build a long position. Um, if the market went up in this time block, you just say you're in an uptrend. Okay, very simple rules. You could build any of these kind of rules for yourself and discipline yourself with some type of electric shock therapy. Somebody recommended once. You put a bad trade on, you got fucking some type of probe that's electrified. But here I'm just going to call out the trades that I would do if I was just going to say, I'm going to put some cells up here in a precise area based on the structure or the voids and just say, well, okay, let's just rehearse what we're going to do here. And then we can also mentally rehearse how you'd feel about these trades, knowing that if you were decide to start putting your cell blocks in here, it's like order blocks, but it's cell blocks. It's like prison trading. I call this prison. This is the ask. This is the bid. So we got to fill that bid. If we put sell limits above this day, the first fill is going to be here, and then this is going to be our profit. We'll become flying back. And the idea here is if you're going to sell high, you got to buy low. So you sell high first, and you buy low later, or you buy low, sell high. It's like jump rope. Are you gonna which way are you gonna get in here? Now we could sell this thing. We could scalp it as it goes up and it pushes into new highs. We don't know where it's going. We don't know where it's been. All we know is the last trade we did. I know for certain if I'm going to sell on limits and buy on limits and sell on limits, I know that I'm going to be into. This is a 10 pip grid. This is a 100-yard line. This is the 50-yard line. This is the U.S. session. So if I'm going to say, well, by the time 6 o'clock in the morning comes, win, lose, or draw, if I think I've been trading the pullbacks here, you could probably get an RSI reversal here because it's more sold off. It's a top become a bottom. It's a 15-minute chart. So this kind of signal pattern, whatever you want to call it, this obvious bullshit. Obviously, a pullback every 15 minutes you bought, you're in heavy. You got to stop here, let it ride. Right? It's an uptrend. How's it? How you know it's an uptrend? Well, it's been going up. You can argue either way. You could say, well, it took out yesterday's. It took out this session's high, but you had to get in before it took out that session's high, right? If you're bullish, you're buying every fucking sell off. So maybe you started buying here, right? You're like, oh, dude, it just took out this low, and I got buy limits here, but they didn't get filled. So that's why I'm not going to use the block, but I'm going to say, well, okay, we could have built a block here. Actually, I'd like to make this so there's like 8 blocks. I actually did that. I had a block on top of a block, so I can move this session so it just cordons off this. Like, are we breaking out of this? If you sell the breakout here, you're trapped. But I'm going to trap these guys. I'm going to buy this on limits in a 10 pip window. I'm going to cash out and make 20 or 15. Actually, I'm going to buy. I'm seriously going to buy with an 18 pip stop to make 12 pips. So it's a break even with a 2 pip spread. These are high probability trades. The market comes down like this with zero spread. You can make money in these 5 pip windows, right? You're in a giant account. You're making money just on noise, but you can't do that in a market where what you're waiting for is a 20, 30 pip sell off. Like if you only buy shit when it's half off, so 50 pips down, let's just say find the the window. In the yen, it's moving 100 pips every hour. In the euro, it's moving 20 pips every hour. So it's 4 times, easily 4 times and maybe 5 times, because the yen is so thin and so psychotic. Think about it. The Bank of Japan, these people are fucking, talk about, you know, paybacks are hell. I mean, they're still getting paid for Nagasaki there with the fucking way that market slams around like a fucking raped date. Not that there's anything wrong with the date being raped. I'm talking about the date shakes over there in California. Here now, like, so you'd want to be long here, right? You got your long. Like the breakout traders are saying, dude, we're fucking geniuses. We put a buy stop here, we got a sell stop here. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a trend trader. It's going up. Just buy every pullback. Yeah, you built a long position in here. Absolutely, you could have done that on the 15, but or you're just going to be, I'm just going to put some settlements here. I'm going to put a big fat settlements above here. As soon as they take out this top tick Tommy, I've already scalped back to roughly here on something. I just made 5 pips. It has to be a giant trade for you to make money on that, though. For you to make a consistent amount of big money there, you got to be definitely short for that. Now, maybe your trade's going to be, well, I did that trade. Or you're very conservative, you say, I got settlements, they never get filled. Like I sold up here, yeah, I'm short a little bit, but I'm waiting to sell this. Almost a 20 pip window to make the 20 to here and then beyond. Almost really an engulf of this, right? It takes out these wicks here, but not that whole session. If we zoom out, I think this is all the data we got. So anyways, I could be short very large right now. I'm still waiting to cash out maybe back to here, or my new buy plan is to buy this. Now, if I'm just going to do this, you can see there's only so many trades per day. And not everyone fills. But this is an easy way to plan ahead, you know. Just put your buy limits here and go, dude, if it drops these about 30 pips, 25 pips here, I'm going to get the big fucking orders starting here. I'm prepared to buy down here. Now, this is where you got to have some money in the account, because you really got to buy this. If it makes it there in what? The next, well, you know what? If you're really lazy about it, you just have an expiration of like 8 hours, 12 hours on tickets that are below here. So that means we got to punch out the low of that previous day, or they last all day, which means you don't even have to. You could just place a big fucking 20K outrageous bunch of hand placed stuff. I would probably go hand placed if they last all day, because let's be honest. You want to say, let's trade way the fuck out. Like if you're going to trade, it expires in a day, you're selling up here. You're buying down here. You're not really thinking, let's put a 1 day expiration on a buy limit here. You're probably going to get filled. I guarantee you. That means it's going to be way out here. Yeah, you're going to get filled on that. You might as well make that make sense. So you want short terms here. So if we spike down, we pick that trade up. Based on the logic that the faster it's dropping, the faster the expiration. So a 15-minute robot, 15-minute expiration bot, it's going to look like this. Okay, he's dropped. This is a 15-minute chart. I mean, if they expire every 15, it's just barely going to get filled. It needs to spike down. It needs to do this. You get filled here, it's beautiful, right? And that's having these things expire in 1 hour. So I got this double click that I run on my tablet, and it's basically saying, oh, I'm going to buy here, but I can double click the shit out of it, so I can put in a 60K. If I just stack that 15-minute guy up. Now, on this one, I would be selling right now. On my tablet, I would be selling in here, 2 hours, 3 hours. I just click and drop and walk away. So I know that way out in here, that in the next 8 hours, I got 8 hours sells about 40 pips above me. I got buy limits down here that last 8 hours, 4 hour, 2 hours. Okay, the 15-minute tickets are right up against it. Always looking to get filled on that. I guess that's the fun, is having the market, the really being right next to the market, but not in, and you've got these Um, Once again, you got to be careful because when the market starts to move and you're on the, even on this time frame, and you don't realize that it's just took out the low from 3 months ago. Like, you can't really see it on these charts. Like, you wouldn't know if it took out the low of this day. You might be on the brink of the abyss of abyss. And I know that Pike doesn't think the abyss exists, but it fucking does. Especially if you don't have a stop. I don't know if anybody has ever blown up an account or just get stopped out of trade, right? One way or another. So on this one, we're going to say, give us the bare minimum. We have to figure out, we're going to do a 10K on this thing. What are we doing? Okay, now buy limits here, right? Let me speed it up. Let's get it to a reasonable speed here. Okay, let's go up to about just one notch below max speed. All right. So here we are, sitting in the, what do we got? That sell is kind of, now if I were to wake up to see this, I'd be like, oh, here, U.S. market's about to open. Yikes. Now I'm short. I like being short into this trade now. So I've sold in this 20 pip window, nearly 20 pip window. Maybe I scalp to here a little bit, but that means my target's got to be 5 and 8 pips with a 13 pip stop just to survive the spike up there, and then it comes back, right? But maybe my targets are here that haven't, so I'm short, waiting to cash out here. If I'm not in this trade right now, I got buy limits. In other words, if I, like I said, I'm not a good seller, but these guys have to cash out to here. So you only make 5 pips here, maybe 8 if you're lucky. You would have made that on all the limits, that sell limits you had to place above this based on this trap trading. You're trapping these breakout traders because they're like, oh, look, it's going up. Which means you have to put sell limits here now. Next step in the thing, plus buy limits down here. Like I said, I'm equal opportunity. Definitely buy limits here, but then more here. Now we just started this session. This new data later on, this green, every session from now on is going to represent all the data to the left of where we're at. Big pack of sell limits up there. And I'm waiting to get paid on this one. Cash out start here. And maybe if I'm really bullish, I guess I've got buy limits starting here now because we got a new lonely turnaround, lonely wick. And the 15-minute chart, I love this closing prices. It just gives you a nice, like at the end of 15, oh, there you go. There must be news, right? So we're selling into that. I'm getting filled on that 8-hour ticket because that ticket's going to last here now. I don't know. We might be on a northern abyss. There's drama there. So they either blew out the tickets that I had in there. If I can survive this, I'm definitely cashing out of something right now. That's why you got to have a 20 pip to make 10 on the top of that to pay for the drama. Maybe you're going to cash out now. So that was fantastic. If you could see that this is going to be a big deal, you cashed out. Now I'm going to put buy limits in here. Right? And big buy limits here, because if it's one of those news days where they come and smash it, and I've seen it, dude, you're going, yeah, this looks very bullish, you know, and then they come back and take that this low and then this low, and you're like, what the fuck? So that can happen here. This is obviously news. This is U.S. markets are open now. So high drama. And you can plan for these trades. This is not rocket science. Your sell limits here would have been all cashed out by here, and then almost, you know, like I said, taking out this. But and you can see that you would shit your pants if you saw this trade. Now, if you placed the limits and walked away, maybe now here's the ultimate cash out, is if you can make it back to this. And this is not, so you can see cash dump the whole thing right now because the buyers are coming in here. Obviously, right? Look at them. They came in. The confirmation, people say, I'm not buying, I don't trust that breakout. When it comes back there, call me, right? So see how they're making money now. That's just how it is. It's just, isn't it funny how that is? So if you're here to trade that, if you know how to play this when it happens, the news, it's tradable as fuck. Even if you waited till after the news came out. So when it peaked here, you could have clicked in and came with the limits. And we all knew there was a big fucking liquidity bullshit up here. But you got a martingale into that. And if the robots are, now here comes like, see, now it might engulf, right? Isn't that incredible? So here and here, and the 15-minute chart, you can get your brain around this shit. There's so much more opportunity in the 15. Look at it, come all the way back to the starting gate. I think it's going to drop deeper though. So you have to run these templates and say, oh, can I see myself like, okay, well, you know, stocks haven't opened yet. I think this is set to like 6 a.m. So that was the news at 8:30, probably. I'm not sure. But obviously that was a big, and now we got to wait for stocks to open. That's an hour away. That's at least 4 bars. And typically the euro, for some reason, it doesn't always happen, but it seems to pull back into the Dow opening, and it situates itself wherever it finds some type of place to be that's resting point. Now here it may be, now I'm getting filled on my buy limits. I just know I am based on, and I would turn on a buy robot. As soon as I saw this thing peak, I would just let's turn on the deep buy bot. Makes sense. Right now I'm getting filled on limits, and watch, we'll probably clip this area, but I got big ass fucking buys in here. So you thought it was going to break out. Now the guys that bought this breakout, man, they're a little butthurt. The guy that bought this breakout, he's like, dude, I didn't get out. Fuck. Now he's actually back above water now, that guy. So there's all these people in here and all these guys. And don't forget, not everybody's trading like a grid system. People are trading like, oh, I waited for this double bottom with my confirmation of a moving average, but you didn't get out either? Well, no, I had to stop right here. Ooh, they stopped you out. Oof, buddy, sorry. Ooh, that's ouch. And you traded what? Oh, you traded like 2% of your account. How big is your account? 10 grand. So 2%. Oof. Wow. That's ouch. Ouch. But let me guess, you moved your stop down to here because you said, I'm not getting stopped out of that. I hate to repay the spread. Do you really? Look at this thing come. You got to know. Like, so this idea that the no-nonsense guy, or that you don't trade the news. Like, this is an all-out pure opportunity here, dude. In 2 hours, you can make money. Now, granted, you've got to get in and out. You got to get it being big enough on these things. But in 2 hours, some guy waited, he's got like, I got 2% of my $4,000 account, and I'm in this trade. It's going to, in a year, or no, I bought an index fund. What's this guy doing? You can't beat the S&P 500. I like to say most traders could never trade like this, dude. Buy limits are getting filled, right? Oh yeah, big fill on that one. Oof. And you're saying to yourself, wait a minute. We broke out the fucking European session. Man, that was on the news was good. So it went up. How in the fuck are they stopping me out of this entry that I did here? I put the 10 pip stop like you told me to. And then you told me to let my profits run, and I let them run like you fucking told me to. I mean, all this bullshit people are telling you. I'm going to tell you what. You type in let your profits run on YouTube, Forex, let your profits run. Some goober fuck's going to go, oh, look at, yeah, dude, with 1,000 pips stop, I got it. But this is like, and you got in here on confirmation, and then the news came out, and I was up really big, and all of a sudden, what in the fucking fuck happened? Just happens all the time, dude. It's incredible. This is the oldest story in the book. it just so happened, this is where we're at in the data, but this is what it's like. And this doesn't happen every day. This is either a Thursday, a Friday. This is either non-farm payroll. This is probably a Friday. Let's see, it's the 5th of January. Let me speed it up to the highest speed now. Now I'm getting bored again. Looks like it's going to tank again, dude. So pull back. One more plunge. And it's just astounding. It's just people go, what the fuck? Like, I did everything I was supposed to do. We were in an uptrend. Look at it. I was made, and now look at the coming down again. They just took out that 15. Oh, fuck. They're going to take out the low of the day. Now, if you're not in this trade yet, like if you haven't voted yet, buy fear like a motherfucker, right? Obviously. That's the obvious answer, right? Buy like a motherfucker right there. And even this, so I get very like waiting for that 15-minute to close. And I got my finger on the trigger there. I probably already bought everything below here. Like if I see it below there, I'm like, fuck, I bought below there. This is where the goober got in. It's in an uptrend. Look at look at the triangle, just like you said. It's like this is the 4th wave of Elliott wave. Oh, is it? Look at this. I'm buying like a whore down here. I'm like, holy shit. This is better than I thought. Look at this. Holy shit. Look at that. This is stocks probably opening now. Well, this could be FOMC. Well, look at that. Now, who's buying that? I'd be buying that, especially in the euro. I was trading the yen. So I traded the yen a few weeks ago, and I'm like, dude, trading the euro is like, with the scripts that you wrote for the yen, you bring them over here, it's like, you're not even, in that risk profile, you're not even near risking anything. There's no risk. Also, look at this thing, man. Oh. Now, at the end of this 15 minutes, I'm going to pull the trigger. Or my robot would pull the trigger on the I just turn it on. It would buy this hard down here, loaded the wagon here. I bought more than you can imagine, but I have to cash out. Got to cash out here on something, on the structural figure. But I'm cashing out along the way. Like, so there's scalps built into this plunge. And who knows, this could be, but isn't that funny? You ripped above the high of this day, took out this day. Now you're taking out this day. This is a very narrow doji-ish day here. Now let's go to the max speed. And you just have to sit through this drawdown here to cash out. That's all. Let's go max speed. You got to cash out on maybe half the position here. Now, I'm assuming you martingale into that. I would dump the whole thing right there at the floor that you just took out. Right, so this is the logical exit. Now what? I'm going to buy here. I'm going to hold maybe, I definitely cashed out the rest right now. So this is the floor that we came back to. Now I'm buying this again. So this is the rinse and repeat method. Well, it's just like, hey, listen, you just got to keep rolling the inventory over because it's all this really is inventory of clearinghouse prices bought here, got buy limits in here, big buy limits in. So I'm buying this whole thing here. Again, it looks like it's going to take this low out. It really does. But I got to cash out on everything I buy here. I got to cash out here on the way to there. So this is a 10 pip grid. So that's 20 pips. Here's 30 coming up. And definitely cash out on stuff here. Or this is the new sell bank. Now, if obviously the new sell area and the new buy area. This one you're cashing out to here. So everything you bought here in the U.S. session on the plunge, now you cashed out. if you're going to go for the gusto, you're going to say, well, it's going to take out this session, but the sellers are already feasted upon this vacuum. So if you just trade all these blocks, the anti-breakout, right? So you sold this, maybe you cashed out, you made 10 pips. Let me zoom out because we'll lose perspective if we don't zoom out. So you always got to have the big picture on the same chart. This is what allows you to do, if you quarter them off like this, you have a time filter template and you have the price. Time and price is all you need. And we zoom out to get the bigger picture. And this makes it easier to accept the drawdown. You see, if you had your sell limits in here, that's 10 pips, you would have made 20 on that. You got buy limits in here now, or maybe your robot looks back these many times and puts limits in for you. That'd definitely be a sweet bot. Sell limits here like crazy because this is a huge vacuum. I mean, if you can see it, I guess a robot, you could make these rules. I just don't have those. Like I said, my rules are just if it's up, buy. If it's up, sell. If it's down, buy. The contrarian bot. But I'm sure if you're a programmer, you can just say, well, look back 3 days. If we see a void, sell into it. Here, I'd like to think that I'm short here for the U.S. session, and even shorter here because it took out the high the previous day. This is 1 day from here to here. So this is really the best template I can think of, is that we can see the day and the whole day. We see this whole, this value, liquidity, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then here's almost, this is a slight engulfment. You got buys down here. You sold that. You cashed out. The buys are here. Now I'm going to cash out of something. Now I got new buy limits, new sell limits. Sell limits. And that's U.S. session. Looks like we're going to go popping up, but I'm willing to buy here, and I'm going to buy very big here and very, very big because of this. So I can just see all these shelves still exist. That was a fantastic trade. We made our 10, our 15. We got bad stops. Like I'm saying, I have to put on a 18 pip stop to make 10 pips, but I'm making it over and over again. See how many times you just keep chopping around this noise is when I'm trading. So there I'm still making money on some small positions here, but I'm waiting for the big fish, which would be the super plunge. The super plungeola. Here I'm getting it, right? Buying everything from the previous day. Oh, big fills here. I'm prepared to buy this whole thing. So it's just, this is a no-brainer. And big giant buys here. So this, instead of being a linear martingale, we're actually going to say, no, you got to put some big fat tickets. This is that. Some videos I'm talking about this kind of wedge thing that is just so packed with, like, wow, if it gets into this territory, holy shit, it'll be every man for himself. But here's the obvious buy. We scalped out. Now maybe we wait for it to get to here. I'm definitely getting the fuck out here at that last floor. So I dumped that whole position now. Now I'm willing to buy again. If we could take this out, take out the Japanese session. Oh shit, look at that. So now if you were still long from, say, and look at the sells on that. Oh fuck, look at that. It's selling up here for sure. Holy shit. What in the flying fuck? But you got to be able to handle that drawdown. See that? That is so many fucking pips, dude. You have no I mean, that is, look at that. That's fucking 50 goddamn pips. Look at people buying here when it comes back to the breakout. Now here it did work. Look at it rip. Look at it rip. It'll probably take this high out. It's hard to say. This looks like definitely, is this a Friday or a Thursday? Could be jobs report. But see how vicious that is? Like, when that happened to me at first, like, I'd make like a bunch of money, and I thought, yeah, but now I just blew up the account. Like, how could I be up like $800 and now I'm up $50? Now that would be without even intervening on it. Like, in other words, you went, let me zoom in on this drama. This is just a classic example of why people are just going, why in the fuck? Am I not making money in Forex? And, you know, people say, yeah, well, let me take a look. So now the end of the day, thank God that's over, right? But look at how beautiful the end of the day was, right back to the breakout point. If you could handle selling this without cashing out, don't forget, because you had plenty of times to cash out here. This was your first cash out, but if you didn't take that, you could have waited to all this drama and then got out at the end of the day, right? Now, I look at it like this. On the 15, I'm like, oh shit, I want to have a grid that I'm selling so fucking heavy here that we're out of like this 30 pip window, this 40 pip window, I'm out. And if it comes back here, shit, I'm cashing out of every fucking thing. But this is pure calculated shit. You're going to put buy limits here, big ass buy limits below the previous day. You have to do that if you want to trade this style where you're trading total reversal trading. It's so simple. You can say things like, I want to build a long position. Every 15 minutes we pull back during Asia, get me long. And then when it breaks out this, you're already long. In the sell, at the same time, you could be hedging it and say, I'm going to sell here, obviously. You just cashed out your 10 pippers. You got sell limits above here. You got buy limits below here. That's the conservative approach at this point of the game. Or are you going to sit there and say, no, what? You know what I'm going to do? Buy limits below here. Let me get filled on this shit. Now, this is 8:30 in the morning now. More news. It's obviously 8:30 in the morning news. Or maybe 8:15. This could be the, what is it? The bid rate on the euro. Now, look at this. Buy limits. Perfectly getting filled. You don't even have to be here, right? This is set it and forget it trading. You know you're long. You got limits, and like I said, you got limits down here like to blow your mind, right? This is the ultimate. But you didn't have to go there today. Look at, you bought this 20 pip window, you dumped, you took your first 20, maybe you let it go. I'd be dumping everything right there. Then I come in with the buy limits here. It's a U.S. session now. Buy limits here. Maybe this is FOMC. I'm getting filled on a couple buy limits. Sell limits above here. Sell limits above there. Go to sleep. Let these things last all day up here. Big sell limits up here. And look at how this is nicked. The previous day just nicked it. Okay, now people will say, well, why don't you just take this trade here? Why do you have all these fucking tickets in there? Just take this trade. Why torture yourself? Yeah, because that trade doesn't happen very often, dude. So you're going to come in here, you're going to buy, like, this is in a 3 pip window. Load the wagon, put a stop in here and go. And people will say that shit. Well, I bought down here, see, low the previous day. Yeah, right. How often does that fucking happen? Not very often. Try to find it. Where you just nick the wick of the nick the wick of the previous day. It's pretty fucking rare. I mean, here's a nice one, but it still went 10 pips in. And here's a nick the wick. Sorry. I nicked the wick on the top side and paid off pretty good if you stayed through that. But like that, so you waited, you got to like, okay, there's 2 trades a week like that. That's the course I sell. I sell the trade really heavy in a very narrow range course. Low frequency trader. Hey, I'm not blowing up the account. Give me a break. I mean, the way you're trading, it's just creeper gear. Okay, now here comes the U.S. Now, news is coming. I got buy limits here, sell limits here. It's no brainer. Now, this looks like vicious, though. Looks like we're going to go screaming up. So, a little white knuckle for me. Bigger sell tickets up here. Looks like we're going to nick that. Now I'm kind of a good buyer. I love to buy. I'm going to put buy limits here now. And just pick up random time. If you really want to trade like this, you can rehearse for free, practice pad, your air guitar, and just rehearse it, right? You're short up here right now. A little white knuckle for me, but I'll scalp to the 10. Buy limits here now. kind of closing out, drifting up here. Looks like I want to be short into Asia, but it looks like it's going to take this out, which means I want to sell that even more. Right, I want to sell more up here. Draw down or whatever you want, whatever have you. But I'm short right now. Into the close now, looking to cash out, make a couple pips here. It looks like we're going to go higher though. Okay, so definitely getting filled on these. And here's, don't forget this guy back here. That's a big deal. We want to be selling very heavy up there. Now this could be a northern abyss. See, this is the thing. You get so focused on the small time frame. This is a white knuckle sell. Look how fast that is just smashing. 10 pips up. Every 10 pips I'm selling. So probably every pip actually. So I'm selling all the way up into that. Even if, like I said, this just doesn't matter. I'm going to say, give me a 50 pip window. Okay, now that Europe just opened, more selling. So I'm very, now I'm going to really get in aggressively short now. This will be a very bullish day. Sell, sell, sell. 10 pip scalps built into this. 10, 13, 18. The full spectrum of scalps. I have to do it, and actually I'm in really big now because I've got my swing trades in there too. Wide stops, risking more, but it's all layered so that robot I showed you earlier, the way those tickets are arranged. Imagine just, layer upon layer of those tickets. Now there's a good 20 pip scalp, 15 pip scalp right in there. You see, we come up there, sell, sell, sell. Like I said, I'm short above this. I'm definitely short. This is one of the exits I have to take. If I'm going to say, well, we sold above here. Here comes the U.S. U.S. will be a chance to make it back to the new buy zone within 10 pips of the cash out here. Oh, wow, that's crazy. So U.S. stock market just opened. Want to sell really big above that. I'm kind of afraid to, but like I said, this is where you have to step in front of the train to make money. So you can get very nervous here. You can only imagine. So you kind of rehearse the fear of like selling into that. For me, that's my kind of training ground to numb myself to going against the wind. So top tick Tommy European session on the U.S. session there. And we're going to close at the end of the day up maybe. Let's see here. Is it the last day of the week now? Is it Friday? That's when this is. Here's Monday, Tuesday. So this is Wednesday we're coming up on. Still short into this thing. Going to sell more above this again. Big sell window up here. Just nicked the wick there, so that's one of those nick the wicks. It could be the top tick Tommy of all top tick Tommies there. No, I put the buy limits in there. 10 pip grid's just easy to do the math on. But look how it's 100 pips from here to here. So there's your 100 pips, but it's a rocky road. Plenty of chances to make the 10 pips. Okay, so big sells up there. Took out the high the previous day. And I just got the sell limits up there. I just have to do it. Like I said, I'm not happy about the drawdown, but it's just the necessary evil of life is the drawdown. Think of it as your insignificant other being a complete uncooperative mate. Like, can't you see what we're trying to do here, honey? I could probably get my girlfriend to sell that. easier than me. She's like, yeah, just I put the sell button in like you said. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, Kamala Harris gets a hold of a fucking oh god, AI prompt. What was it? What's that thing? GB chat prompter does real time thought for her. I guess that's what it's gonna be in the end. And can somebody explain to me? You can put a man on the moon. You can land a rocket on its own ass, but you cannot get a teleprompter to stay running. Come on, man. Next thing you're going to tell me that your ballot machine can't count ballots. No, it's got a water leak. At least we didn't hear the water leak thing. God, I was about to die when I heard about the first trying to kick people out. Now here you just have to have like balls of steel. Don't forget, I'm selling into that. Sell high, buy low. Sell, sell, sell. Got to have some wide stops. You take the yen orders and put them in here, you won't even feel. You wouldn't feel it. So you just wouldn't even notice it. You'd be like, oh yeah, dude, I'm used to selling fucking 80 pips high from where we're at. It's just a typical, another classic day. Now you could wait for these trades, but I'm sure we're going into some probably maybe it could be going into a 3-year high. I don't know here, but these are short-lived too. It's just about the amount of pips. So here we've been taking some heat. Like I said, I'm short into this. Sell this thing, but look how this sell worked out. If you scalped back to the starting gate, we did come back to this. You had to take that money and run. The swing traders are still short, big time. Now at this point, I'm going to start putting in sell limits like here. I'm like, that was ridiculous. We have to sell more. Hopefully I scalped at least my 40 pip targets. So targets are just based on pips. Like how many pips are we trying to make? And we just took out the low of US session. So that's definitely bookends. I'm totally out of that trade. I go flat, put the buy limits in here. The sell limits are just going to be like, okay, let's sell on the way to the retest. Anything above us is a sell. Anything below is a buy. I just have very simple rules. I think you just got to keep it simple because it's hard enough to deal with the fact that you just can't know the exact last move we're going to get. Oh shit, I gotta reload the template there. I thought I was deleting the other thing. This guy. So here because we don't know, right? We have to be unburdened by the last bad trade. Like MACD is just put on a trade here and it's sold. MACD just sold. You gotta love it. Let's never use MACD. But I would have sold this little area, and then look how this is back into the fair value, into the void. So it's getting very top tick time. Another sell. Oof, nice. Now that is the Nick the Wick. You've been waiting all month for that one. Is it really going to be is that the top tick Tommy? Or are we going, no, sell, sell, sell. More on limits. Top tick Tommy again now. Rip back. I say buy here. I say buy there. Buy, buy. And if you're still short, you got 100 pip stops. You haven't been stopped out of this yet. If you started selling here, your target's got to be down here to get the ultimate wrap back in. And the test is to see if you can handle these kind of swings and make money from the short and the long-term stuff, There's plenty of great short-term trades, but you got to be in kind of big and definitely got to get out, because it's just when the news comes out like that, it has to be pre-planned at least that you're going to be able to dump big sells up here now. Oh my God. Like you're going, dude, this is crazy town. Who is not selling above that one? That's a top tick Tommy. Big trap. I'd say that one of the biggest traps I'm seeing. One of the best trades. Now, with the 100 pip stops, you know, if you sold here, you haven't got stopped out yet. You're still holding these underwater and you're selling more up here. That's very difficult to do. Now your target's got to be here. Your first buy limit's coming in here and here now. Big buy limits down in this. So this is all new potential buying zones. It's just funny how it works out. And you still got to do light buying here and heavier buying there. This is a high probability that if we get back here, it's going to be Psycho Town. Another sell signal is to put in sells above here. Now, I don't know if we can do it because this is pretty monumental. There's Asia. Big chance for a crush down and coming after the bottom of U.S. session here. Big potential for that. I do believe that is the real attractive area. This 20 pip window. Got some sleeper cells waiting here, and then this is obviously the big deal. Is the low of the previous day, the low of this previous day. It's a stair step of buy zones. Ready to sell above this again, and it's very difficult, really. You know, you're short on this, you're really in heavy, and you've only made 10 pips. I think that's the hardest thing. Once it really starts to go, this is what makes it so difficult. It really starts to go. It's like, yikes, right? You're like, dude. Oof. Big fills here. Oh, there's your 10 pips. There's your 20 pips off. Top tick Tommy. Looks like it's going to punch higher. U.S. markets, the news is ridiculous, but we could come down 50 pips from here, and you'd say, yeah, I waited all month for that. Yeah, look, the air is pretty thin up here, dude. Look at that. Come on, right? Come on, man. Even fucking Joe Biden would be taking this goddamn trade. Is he still alive? Is he on the beach? God, he sounded really chipper the other day. He's taking such a fucking nap. He's like, finally, Daddy came home. He's going to fucking steer this ship. Step aside, son. Let a real man. Let somebody that takes a bullet in the ear fucking drive this ship, you bitch. Sit down. Buttigieg. He's a transportation secretary. Holy fuck me with a wet spoon. So you're seriously short up here, dude. You're going, oh, payday's coming. Oof. When Europe opens, we're going to be down here. I say we're taking out Europe. We're taking out U.S. We're going to be down. We're looking for buys down here. Cash out on the shorts down here big time. Get the fuck out because the buyers are coming in down here. They're going to, the aggressive people like me would be stacking every 10 pips I'm buying. Big buyer here. Super big buyer. We're looking to make like 50 pip yard lines here. We're short at the 100 in this 10 pip window now. We're just waiting to get paid. When Europe opens, I'm looking to take out the previous day and slam all the way back to starting gate. But, you know, this is what it takes, is waiting a couple of days for this stuff to play out. Definitely looking forward to getting out of this thing. But we at least made 20 pips off top tick Tommy. If our exit's here, we've had plenty of chances to get out if we didn't. I'm looking to add to the sell position by selling more up here. So we don't know how it's going to go, but I'd actually if I'm in just the right amount, I feel like, oof, this is a lot. Like, but you always got to be just a little bit under, because if you don't leave something in the tank, you won't be able to add to the winner, so to speak. It starts going your way, or just say, you know what, it's Goldilocks. Some trades are like that, where you go, ooh, that's just the right amount of limits. We just got that just right. We're turning the corner. Just hang in there. Where are we at? Here is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this is Friday, and I'm short into it. Or maybe this is Monday that's happening right now. Yeah, so here's Monday. So I was short into Friday there. Still got sells up here, you know. I just got to go against these trend traders, these people that are buying this shit. They're retarded. We can't do these dumb shit things these people are doing. Just can't play along with it. Don't contribute to the delinquency of a retard. So we're definitely against him. You got to resist. That's the only thing the Democrats figured out. Resist. That's their motto. Sell. Here's another place to sell, is put sell limits in this pocket now, because they're getting desperate here. I'm prepared to sell all the way up. Now, sometimes this doesn't work out and you lose money. And sometimes you're like, dude, it was worth it. You know, there's another day. I just keep drifting up here. Something's got to give. We got the European session is at the low of the day. We got to start buying here. This is the cash out. Finally getting paid on this. Oh, we got paid here. We could have got out, but to wait to really get paid, we got to take out the low of the previous day. Happens to be Asian session. It's a perfect fit. Okay, we're cashing out. Now, we made 50 pips. I didn't like being, so when I sell into that, I'm just like, holy shit, right? Now look at this. We buying here again, and big buys in this price. We scalp those 20 pips. We get out. So if you're going to use the always in the market style of trading, or you're always in, then you would have to be a buyer here, almost dump the whole thing, and say, well, 18 pip, almost 20 pip scalp. We got this area that was hit. It did not take out this day. I'm cashing out of, it looks like it's going to be an auction, so it did take out the high that, I mean, it hasn't taken out, but I suspect we're going to go up here again. So I'm going to sell up into that. Now I'm really going to sell heavy into that, because I'm like, holy shit, look at this thing. I definitely cashed out of everything here. I know I cashed out of everything there because I would have had sell limits above Asia. If I'm going to trade both directions based on the void, now I'm a heavy seller, big seller up here. I'm like, this is completely bullshit. It's like fake news up here, dude. Top tick Tommy destruction. Oof. Ouch. Trying to cash out here on everything we sold in a 30 pip window. Let me do the magic thing and fix the scale. We got enough data here, I think. You fix this on playback. It's pretty cool how you're able to actually manipulate in Strategy Tester the chart to portray your normal, my normal trade. So this is great. We scalped it here. Now we're going to hold it for the engulfment. We're going to take out the U.S. session now. Here's the new buys coming in. Got buy limits here, here. Definitely cashing out of everything I sold above here. It has to cash out below US session. I suppose we could hit that when Europe opens. A blue session will take out this. And if I'm not in the market, I'm going to start buying there. And so the next window of buy, the buy window has to be here logically. And big buys in here. So we just got filled here and we cashed, or we would have cashed out of. So it totally engulfed the US session there. By punching through this into just, people can't even believe it. Like I said, I don't know what this data is coming up on here. I really don't know where we're at. I just know what I would do. Because I would know that we've been going up for fucking 5 days, and I'm like, really? This is crazy. But then these are the rewarding scalps off the top, and then you're like, oh shit, I could have bought this. Like, the people that are really short thinking it's going to go to here, they're like, oh wait, one more last punch up, but I can kind of feel it coming, because don't forget, this slot left behind is as intense as this uncharted water up here. And this, you would have had to break your wall. Now here you're buying heavy below here. Like I said, heavy below this. Big orders. Here you're betting the ranch. Now if you held through this whole swing, if you sold here and you go, dude, I'm not getting out till we're down here. Yes, because all of this fucking distribution, that's what they call it, the bucks. The unloading of that. But look how you're making money on this. You're making more bank on this in fucking 1 hour. So why you would trade these time blocks with the 15? Because the 15 shows you that, yes, that trade did work out. I bought everything down here for 40 fucking pips. I cashed out of my 20s into the floor of Europe, and I'm holding till I dump the whole thing here or here. Or maybe you're waiting for it to come all the way back to the Asian session, and it's possible that we weasel this way, we weasel that way. But obviously, if you're not in the market, the next trade is to buy here. Everything down. And everything above US session is a sell. Everything below US. So the next session, you can just trade session to session. I'm just going to sell. That could be another rule. I just sell the last session's highs and lows. So if we take out this high, I'm like, fuck, I'm selling that. Everything above that session, I say, you just got filled. Anything below European session, I buy. Okay, obvious. Great, trade, you're out. Everything above US, I sell. Everything above European, I sell. So how did it work out? Let's back test it. Everything above Europe, I sold. Okay, scalp, not the greatest, 10 pips. Everything above Europe, I sell. Great trade, right? The end of US session, I made. Sell here. Not that great. Sell here. Not that great. But no, actually, this is a great trade if I held to here. Sell above that. Fucking fantastic trade. Sell above that. White knuckle, but if I cashed out, like, but there's no exit plan in that. Right? I'm not really talking the exit plan. Sell above US session. Perfect. Buy below US session. Perfect. It's the low of the day too. So does that matter? Can you statistically backtest that? I wouldn't bother, but maybe it means something. US session happens to be the top tick Tommies here. I suppose it does. I mean, people want to do stats on that and say, well, what is really the most optimal setting for that? And I just don't think you can do it because every day is different. Every day is a snowflake, a different pattern. Here, obviously, I love this buy here. You could have cashed out there. That's the perfect fucking smash to the void, make it back to the floor of the previous day, and then look at beyond. But like I said, if you go like this and say, I'm buying this session for this, you just engulfed the Asian session in Europe. Now you sold above here. Great trade for fucking 20, 30 pips. Buy below here now. The nice thing about this system, there's a trade every day, and if you get stopped out, you just load your fucking grid somewhere else, dude. You can't take it personally because they're just going to rape people. This is basically shows you how the confirmation people, I'm like, how do you guys do it? My confirmation is they hit the void, I get filled. But waiting for one particular moment, like, okay, well, here comes the jobs report. Okay, what should I do, Joe? I don't know. I've been short from like here. I think I'm just going to sell every rally. Okay, that might work, right? At the end of the day, I would say wait for the end of the day. Now, that was the no nonsense thing. Wait for the end of the day. Okay, I'll do that. I'm with you so far. I could show no nonsense how to make money at the end of the day. I think it was all end of the day for him. Look at how bullish that is. But if you were long here on limits, you just made almost 100 pips, dude. Right? You're cashing out here. Why is there a big sell-off off of that? Because once that void's filled, you can see that's the pivot. You know there's sell limits up here for the sell guy. They're like, dude, we're selling up here. The buyers are like, we're buying below US now. Now we're going to, so if you're behind the market, you're trailing your limits, and you're just putting in these blocks. You don't have to be there to trade it. It is fun to pull the trigger when you see it plunging and you go, oh, I see what's going on. And you feel like you're in control at least because you can say, oh, dude, I mean, I see the big picture here. Like you could have this chart open and when the news comes out, you got your buy limits down here and you're like, this doesn't freak me out at all. So it really doesn't. It used to just blow my mind because I was going, what in the fuck? I thought we were in an uptrend. How are we ripping up and down like this? And the volatility just so it's volatile because it's crushing into the market went sideways too long. Now it's crushing in and filling up the back. It's backfilling all these price vacuums left behind from nobody wants it at that price. Nobody wants it at that price. Nobody wants this shit. And then one day it explodes into these territories and it becomes a situation. Here, once again, beautiful sell of the Asian session in Europe. You're up fucking 20 pips on that. And I just got filled on my buy limits below Asia. I'm going to get filled on this below US session now. I'm long. Big longs below the low of the day. And if you were short above this, you are just loving this, right? But for me, I'm going to be buying that one. Have big buyer below. This is a lonely wick situation. This is the big profound reversal for these guys to make all this money back to this thing. But that's a beautiful 20 pips. And everything here I'm cashing out. So I would have to cash out on most of that. And now I got sell limits above the high, got buy limits below here. So I just want that high probability smash and grab trade. These things only last 2, 3, 4 hours. I guess 8 hours if you can see the big picture. You should be able to see it at some point. You got buy limits down here. I'm getting filled on this. This is the news coming out. So U.S. market's open. We're buying here. We got just giant buys here, and there should be enough money in the account now where we can really risk on this trade, these kind of trades, you know. Or you move over to the yen. If you think, well, I got enough money in the account now, I can do this. And then you can relax, you know, and you can say, okay, well, listen, they didn't fill this, but you know what? I didn't blow up the account. Look at, aren't I fucking a genius? What disciplined trader, jeez. This is a nice cash out into the U.S. floor. You bought it. Big fills here. Nice day. Easy trade. I mean, dude, you're just, you know, I guess if you're aggressive, you could put buy limits here, which is I probably would do. Buy limits all the way down, cashing out into here. So this is the target for that. It looks like you just about hit it. So target's a target. Having a spectrum, a nice wide spectrum of tickets available to dump into these windows. Wow. MACD went short there. I agree. Looks like it's going to cash out. Okay. So you got filled on your U.S. Nick the Wick trade right there. I got to zoom in for that. I'm not zoomed in enough. Sorry. We really can't see the forest for the trees there. See how we just nicked this U.S. session here right when Asia opened. I say Asia. I kind of put Asia here because like this is 2 hours of nothing. And then technically Japan opens here. Now here comes Europe. I'm getting filled on my buy limits, and I got monster buy limits here. Now we have to cash out of something here. And the new sells start here and here now. So it's just constantly putting tickets in above and below, and it's just, it's either going to be, we're not going to care about the so-called, this hard line here. We're just going to say, oh Christ, just buy on limits down here, irregardless. So here's that's the actual high of the day. So I guess we probably should move this session. But I wanted to, now we can kind of see this wick that this is a big deal to sell above that. But we should be short above that right now, cashing out, and we should be short into this according to the rules of the. And then we cashed out, so that trade's over for 20 pips. We sold into these two zones, and now we're a buyer below the low of the day, very big buyer. And U.S. markets looks like they're going to just plunge into that, even though it doesn't look like that now. Right, but I think that's going to, now we're going to buy, and I suppose Japan, we're going to take out this low and this low. Now there's a new big abyss forming. We're at the edge of this one now. So you kind of have to buy below that pretty heavy. You just have to, that's all. When Europe opens, I think we're going to smash down and take out this price easily. Easily take that out. Got to be ready to buy down there. This is a classic trade. So when U.S. markets open, I think it's going to smash down there, and that'll be our trade. That's how it goes. So that it's even out here, it's a long wait. I'm at the fastest playback speed this thing will do. Or we could have sold above Asia there and made about 20 pips. So if you really want to trade a lot, this is the obvious sell window. Cash out to here. We got settlements up here, up there. Big ones up in here. Now this is a big old sell window. Okay, it's crazy. Here comes U.S. I think we could take out this. So it's a heavy buyer here. Buy like mega death here. And I would say just wait to get filled on that. And based on how it plunges into it, because this is like, I hate to say it, but this is like voting early, or this is kind of like mail-in voting. Just phone it in. Oh, he's selling above European session. Great place to short. That's news. This is the Dow opening. We're short now. Got those settlements pending. Got to put in wider tickets now because the European session was almost 30 pips, about 30 pips. No, we're making money on that one, so 20 pips now. This is the super buy zone. So it gets more and more, like that's where you start stack up tickets. If you can wait for this triple bottom in the daily, and the longer this goes on, the deeper the plunge could be. If it breaks into that zone, it becomes one of these breakout trades. Collapses into that. That is the obvious place to sell. Let me do some graphics by using my trusty rectangle, which you have to invoke it because the brokers have them turned off so you don't see the big picture. That's how they sneakily. Well, that's a big slot. If we ever hit that, look out. This next big slot that's forming is on the north side. So unfortunately, I got to put my sell limits in here. A white knuckle sell trade. Up in here, I got the sell limits. All right. Looks like we're going to get filled on those sell limits, man. It's about time. All righty then. Here we go. One or the other. Let's say it's going to be the buy limits are going to get filled, and we're going to crush so deep. Ready to buy a 100 pip window here. Yeah, that looks like it. Wow, so this is 50 pips down. Pretty wicked. Now, here's where it's one of those days where you've got to say, you know what? Oh, this is news. That could have been, it looks like, well, that's the end of the year, too. This is January 30th, so this is going to be psychotic, right? Going into the New Year's. Cashed out of, I would say, the whole thing in about, we got to see how we close out the U.S. session there. I'm getting out right now. This is the end of the year. But look how that is. Look at that rate on that price. And then, man, look at that. That's the end of the year. Wow. Oh, vicious foul. Look at this. All the way back down again. How nasty. What a way to end out the year. Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. Dude, if you held through that, that's like almost 100 pips you made on that trade. It's not over. So you bought down here. You knew this was huge supply zone. They barreled into it, cash out, and then come back and now rip and top tick Tommy, nearly top tick Tommy this. Holy shit! Look at down again. Now here comes the beginning of the year now. Was it be January 3rd here or something? Wait a second. This was January. This might be, the next day might be Thursday here. It'd be December. I mean, it'd be, no, this is the end of, sorry, this is not the end of the year. This is, I had a buddy that was born in, during Christmas, and people would look at his driver's license when he went to buy a beer, and they get confused, and I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, January 3rd. No, this is 1 month into the new year, but it is the end of the month. Okay, February. I can't tell. If this is February 3rd, then I guess that's the weekend. We'll see here. Anyways, that was quite the trade. Now you have to say, let's put on the sell plan because it's the only thing that makes sense. That's a logical trade to do. Let me make this rectangle proper. The new crushing sell window. We're tapping into the sell limits now. The buy limits are going to come in here below Asia and below U.S. session. Big buys. That's a nice scalp here. We sold the top tick Tommy, this triple void for 10, 20 pips, almost 30 pips on that. I'd probably stay short on that. New buy window below Asia. Let's see where Europe closes. Okay. Definitely want to buy below that. Yeah, this doesn't include, see the spike here? That's not included in the, so that is I should probably make that like I said, that Asian session starts at 9:30 on the chart there, I think. All right, so here's a nice clean chart. We've got going to buy below Asia now. The news comes out, we could crush down here easily now. I would say that's coming after this low and this little wick. That's a big deal, that spike. Okay, getting filled here on the buy limits. That's a no-brainer. Definitely buying below Asia. That is my favorite thing. I got to sell above here now. Big sells and big buys starting on this wick, and then here tremendous buys in here. Has to be. I just have it pending there. That's all there is to it. It's as simple as that. Wow, that was nice. That must have been news. Okay, so this is actually it's Thursday at least now. Probably jobs report. Yeah, this must be Thursday news. This is Friday. Look at this beautiful buy. Getting long here. Like I said, this is the big deal. You got to buy a ton here. So I'll show you why that's such a beautiful trade. Is that it's these two. This is the window. And you got to have enough money to buy here, because if we come down here and it's quick and dirty, you just won't believe. You will not believe how much money that trade makes. If we're buying this plunge, we got to cash everything out here. Maybe stay for a little bit. 80% cash out. Here's the last amount. I don't know if we'll make it up here, but this will be the selling window. I think this is going to take out the low of Asia. I mean, the low of US will take out. High probability to retap anything below here all the way to this. And then you got to be willing to buy, like bet the ranch down here and just go seriously in without any hesitation. You just, I mean, if you have to take out a loan, and if you have to, you know, pimp your wife out or something, like, honey, have you ever thought about, you got to take one for the team sometimes, baby. You got to just, like, you know, I got this great trading idea, and if I could just get enough fucking size on this trade, like the size of your ass on this trade. Does that trade make my ass look big? It sure does. Like I trade the size of your ass on every trade. Well, since Nicki Minaj, how come she didn't come out for hairy ass? What happened there? I was waiting for Nicki Minaj to rub up against this other chick that likes to grab him by the. She has some kind of pussy song to try to compete with Trump's grab. You can't beat grab him by the pussy, but apparently this other chick's got the I'm wet, I'm wild, and I'm ready to bang. I'm gonna leave snail trails on the floor. I'm so horny. Okay, babe. Sit down. Take a seat. Oh, this looks like a breakout of Asia. So I'd be long here based on this thing that we just took out the low of the previous day. I love, this is one of my favorite trades, is that you go down and you got to think about buying below this. And this is kind of another, oof. So definitely getting long now, but willing to buy in this giant window. That's a set it and forget it giant swing trade. You're going to take a drawdown on that though, because you're long right now, but you're like, yeah, we're probably coming down here, but you just have to go with this first initial entry to get some kind of trade going, because maybe you don't come down any lower. And if that's the case, then I start to put in buy limits. Now we got another place we could put buy limits. But see, too late. So if you didn't buy this, right? This whole smash, and you're not holding into that. Yeah, I don't want to be putting sell limits. Although, like I said, not good at the selling, but you can see if you sold this, you're looking for this thing to pull back. But you got to have jumbo sell limits up here now. Because you came down and took out the low of this, that auction could end up here and then it just drifts down. It wouldn't be as quick and dirty money as this just was. So the fast money is going to be in the reversals and the complete engulfment of the previous day. Total auction where you crush this, the buy on that, and then here comes, I think this looks like the minimum bid rate, because it looks early in the U.S. session. It's like right out of the gate there. That could be something. I'm not sure what that is actually, because that's that could be something out of Europe. But boy, it's sure rocking this thing. And I'm short in a 30 pip window because we're above this. I have to have scalps built into that, because if that thing starts to really rip north, as Trump would say famously, that would be a bloodbath up there. Okay. Now it's crazy time. We're going to sell above this, and I'm going to buy below that wick out of Asia. Or I might be still long from down here at the saying, let's auction here. Big sells up here now. I just barely got filled on that. Wait, we sold the high of the previous day there, but I think we're going higher. But it's okay. I sold up there. We're okay. There's nothing to worry about, people. But these are classic structured trades. Sell new highs, buy new lows. Sell old lows, sell old highs, buy old lows. But if you're right in front of the market, the previous days, of course, but the big slot, this big void, this cavity becomes such a feeding zone. Now here's the buy limits again, and more sell limits. I think this is the obvious new sell window, and above here it's going to be, wow. We went short above Asia now, waiting for European session to take out the low of Asia. So it'll wrap around Asia, and we see that many times. Big deal here. Going to cash out here, buy back the shorts, but then new buys definitely below here, below this wick, and this little wick here. The threshold for the buy limits to come in. It's about the threshold in this zones. Short up here, pretty good. Top tick Tommy Asia session right there from a long time ago. Old highs. Old highs are certainly the big money, and it could crush into these zones. Be prepared for 50 pip crushes. It's totally possible. Totally possible. I'm holding my shorts from here, ready to sell more into Asia. So when I get into these trades, I get pretty defiant, and I'm kind of like, dude, I'm selling even more. Thank you. So every time I take a drawdown or a hit, I just double down on it. Like, yeah, let's sell more. Let's sell the whole day into the close. I'll probably take out the high. And look, we're approaching this one. There's so many jumbo sells up there, right? You know there has to be. Didn't hit it, though. Just nicked it. Nice cash at 20 pips here. Big buy limits here. All the way down buy limits, but we're short, right? I'm always against the wind. So big fills here. Didn't quite hit top tick Tommy, but that window's great. Plus it's this window. Now here's where I put the big sells, and then giant. We could definitely spike up. It could get crazy, wild and crazy. Right. So I could do this forever, but I gotta go. I'm tired. So yeah, because when you're sitting back and you can think about selling on limits here, it's just a matter of how many tickets and how big and where's the stop going to be, and trying to make the 10, the 20, the 30 pips in the other direction. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. There, I said it. So it's about that kind of stuff. Okay, look at this. Right now, I think this is, if you're conservative, you're going to wait for this price. If you're aggressive, you're going to buy down here. And when Europe opens, that's what's going to happen. Alrighty then. So that's that. I still can't wait to watch it take out this high, because I know this. I begin sold on limits here, and big ass limits based on this. Sell, sell, sell in the Europe. And when U.S. markets open, there's probably some news coming out here too. Well, this is like coming into Wednesday. And this could be an FOMC day, which would be later in that green session. Okay, let's wait for U.S. market. So I'm short into that big time. And you did top tick Tommy this by like 2 pips up here. I think U.S. markets is going to take out Europe, so I'm going to be short about here now. Another reason to get very short. Okay, perfect. Here comes the news. Now we can make almost 50 pips here, I would say. Because I think we're going to start buying here now. And this will be one of those where you just punch through, everybody thinks it's good news, and then wow. Wah, wah, wah. Coming back into the buy zone. You'd be up 40 pips right now off that top. Big buy zone. So that's that in a nutshell. A lot of whipsaws, not a lot of direction. I don't know if like I said, you could call this a downtrend and you're selling some setup here, but why wouldn't you just take profits and take your 40 pips and get the fuck out? Because if you're waiting for this, you're watching your equity fluctuate like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, that's what I think about that. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.